Hi, and welcome to another episode of Ask Elly Intuitive Insights and Your Questions Answered. My name is Elly Molina. I'm an intuitive, psychic, educator, and a learner. And I love learning and I love sharing. And today my guest is the beautiful Gosia Lorenz. And if you've been to the channel before, you know Gosia. We've worked together. She was on the Metaphysical Frontier Summit and we've done a number of events together. And Gosha's been my guest on the podcast a few times, and I had to bring her back today. For those of you who do not know Gosha, she is constantly learning and changing and altering, as we all are, especially during these times right now that are so exciting as we're going into this new earth, into this new epistem, into these new ways of being. So, um, I, Gosha and I were looking at, gee, she has really changed from who she had been being. And actually, now she's a luminary conduit. And this is somebody who gets to conduct planetary information and life force. And at the same time, she's also an earth code messenger. And my favorite is she's a planetary emissary. And so today, Gosha, welcome. We are going to talk about divine codes, blueprint activation. So, hi and welcome.
Oh my gosh, that sounded so amazing. Hi, Ellie. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're up to such. I just love watching this metamorphosis. And we met 2000 and well, we know this, or those of us who watching, we met 2017 in a bookshop in Venice, California. And since then, we have remained close friends, and I enjoy working together with you. And I just love all the transformation that you've been undergoing and the information that you have been providing clients and people listening, things that are happening that most people are unaware of. So with that, let's jump right into the blueprints and activation codes. Can you tell us a little bit, like, what is that? Like somebody hearing it for the first time, what are they thinking?
Yeah, it's what are they thinking, right? What are you guys thinking about this strange thing?
Like, what are divine codes and blueprint activation?
Yeah, without sounding too woo about that. So imagine when you build a house, what do you need to build a house? You need a blueprint. An architect prepares a blueprint, prepares plans for it, and everything is being built according to that blueprint. And it seems like everything in this world, in this universe, has physical presence. And even without the physical presence fully, there is a blueprint attached to it. There are templates, and templates are forms that are used to create blueprints. So they're when you're making a cookie, that's a
Mm-hmm.
right, making a cookie and cutting it out of the dough. And codes, how I perceive and see them, they're almost like, imagine a code for a safe. You need a code, you need an access.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because my hands started doing weird things during sessions when I did energy work on people. And I started having very strange sensations, uh, whether with people or in places. And I do travel a lot. And I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed that things energetically come out of me when I'm in a certain location.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It happened first time I walked at the airport somewhere in Africa, Ethiopia, and I felt like things are rippling out of my body. And I was like, what is this? What's happening? And it was literally like when you throw a stone into a pond and you have those big ripples. And I was like, what is happening? But I kept walking and pretending nothing's happening. But I definitely took a note of it. And it was 2000, oh my gosh, must have been 18. And so since then, I started paying attention to sensations in my body when I was traveling in different places and with people. And there was usually this kind of sensation, movement, fluttering, like this energy in here, in my shoulder, within my shoulder. It's like, what is going on with me? What is that? So I kept digging and asking questions and asking people, and it's like, what is this thing that I have? So I came to this realization that I carry those blueprints. So they seem to be very, very old, um, pre-Earth or pre-fall of Atlantis, pre-Earth. Some of them are galactic, some of them are very, very early on the creation of the Earth times. And I know it sounds really out there, but bear with me. You guys.
No, not at all. That's why I had you here, because we're going to have a conversation about it. So to me, this doesn't sound out there at all. This is totally making sense. So please, I'm sorry for the interruption. Please
No,
continue.
thank you. And I realized that working with people, I do a lot of one-on-one sessions. So it's usually comes out in a session that there are many people like this, that most of us who are on a certain level of consciousness, awareness, and probably if you're listening to this and know Elly, you there already, that you have something in you that you have stored from other lifetimes, dimensions, realities, accumulated the knowledge, volumes of information, living codex, libraries of knowledge, of wisdom, and that it's like this code. So they're like books that contain information about the world. And now, as we are building the new earth and building the new world, I think they're very necessary to be activated, to be brought into the light, to be deposited or anchored in different places, because the new earth is not solid yet. It's energetic, it's there, it's alive, it's very active already, and we're very, very busy creating it, but it's not as physical as this reality, this 3D yet. So this is my understanding. This is how I perceive it. They literally start, and recently, a few weeks ago, it started getting really, really, really active to the point of like I was in pain. And what is that? And I asked, is there something I need to do? Is there something I need to send this somewhere? I need to send this code to? And it was very clear. Yes, I'm pretty good with reading energy, yeses and nos, and so I ask a lot of questions. And I started sending them to different locations in the world. And it was just like a wave coming out of me, intense wave sometimes. Like it's like it needed to come out, and it builds up in my shoulder blade and comes out, and then it's done. And then another one wells up, and another one, okay, where do you want to go now? And I go by continent by continent. And then there was a period I had to send it to people. So I went, all my friends, family, clients, one by one. And it's not like I'm imposing it on anyone or anywhere. I'm offering it. I'm just putting in a field. If you want to receive it, yes. And what I've noticed with the people, it looked like bridges, and there were different sizes, different widths. And I think yours was like this big, white, colorful, beautiful bridge. And I was like, okay, is this some kind of coding access point or access bridge to the new earth? So it's easier for us to shift, to transition, to walk through this bridge. And I'm perceiving this is what's going on. So this is still like almost uncharted territory for me as well, because it's very new how urgent this felt and feels, how intense it is. So we are still kind of looking at that and playing with it and inquiring like what is going on. And it wakes me up at night. I literally wake up. It's like this intense pain. And it's like, okay, where do you want to go now? Okay, Africa. A lot has been sent. So I'm telling you where the hot spots are right now. South of African continent. And it was before was like South Africa. And I had very specific, I get very specific locations. Now I'm good with geography, thank goodness. But sometimes I have to go to the map and like zoom and zoom in. Oh, there's something beside this lake or in this mountain or in this mountain ridge or in this valley. It's very specific. But now almost entirely it's going to south of African continent, and there is a big fault, and it was some big.
I was just going to say that to you. I was just going to interrupt you and talk about the earthquakes that have been going on down there in like what, a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, last week. Yeah.
Yes, so
Mhm.
it's jumping from like Argentina, south of Argentina, where there was this Drake passage, where there was this
Mhm.
huge movement,
Mhm.
and it's this whole, it seems like this the whole, and something is going on there. A lot goes to Italy as well. There's this field, the flag, I cannot pronounce it, but where there's a big active volcano that it's awakening. A lot went to Hawaii, a lot went to specific locations in Asia. I literally go by, each continent. So it's very interesting. And in America, a lot went to New Madrid fault line, where it is, like this kind of, yeah, there. So something is going on there. And it's very like insistent, it's quick, it's intense. So I'm just like, I think this is why I'm here right now, to do that, to deliver those things. That was one of my, jobs that was assigned to me, maybe, or I signed up for before coming here. And it's becoming a daily norm, but yeah, it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah. And I'm going to add to this not only well, I can't tell you what you're here, all right, but if I'm doing my psychic stuff, all right, then one of the things that I am going to say is that you're also here to share and to teach this and to start teaching this because I am at a client the other day and I was doing a session and information that you're talking about right now, activation code. I didn't use your vocabulary, but what I started seeing is this is a woman who needs to learn how to get into the codes of before time. And that's where I was going with this. And these things I've never said before to anybody. Like this is what's coming through. You've got to like go in, learn about before time. It's things that I was seeing. I was running out of I had no vocabulary for this, and you, I'm pretty. I've got a good vocabulary, and so I work on being able to deliver the vocabulary that I need in order to see the things that I see. And in this case, there were no words that I could really put in there other than similar to an Akashic record, similar to code, similar to pre-earth before those days, and tapping into that wisdom. And then that is what had me think to myself after that. So I'm like, let me get on, let me go talk to Gosia. This is the lady, this is the source, this is what's going on. And I'm going to agree with you, Gosia. I believe that people are being tapped now. We are at another level. We were talking about this
Yeah,
pre-recording. There are people who are still, and this is not an ego thing, this is just an educational thing. It is a hierarchy. There are people that have transcended into this work that we've started years ago, decades ago, and we are now at a level that we're given information that now needs to be taught, it needs to be expressed, it needs to bring the others, like as you were saying, the bridge, okay, right? I've been a bridge for a really long time with clients, okay, taking them from 3D into quote unquote spirituality, okay, like, oh, I'm leaving my corporate job, Ellie, help, okay, all right, let's jump from what does it look like to leave corporate 9 to 5 and to start creating and teaching and healing and becoming someone who's working in this realm right now. And these people who've been doing it for a while, they've been activated, like you're saying, right? You're here to, you particularly are here to now take people to the next level in conscious awareness. It is more than just let's get some crystals and say that we are doing, and I'm not knocking crystals, okay, but where we're going right now requires a higher level of conscious awareness than people have had up till present.
brilliant. Yeah, and what came to me is that I've seen it so much, like beautiful souls, beautiful beings, people with tremendous capacities and talents and abilities that are still doubting themselves. It's like, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I don't know. Like I would just like shake everyone's like, no, this time's so over. You can't do that anymore. The doubting, the I don't know if I'm good enough, if I'm like correct here, if I'm right here, like that shyness. We really are being called to standing up, to showing up, to claiming, reclaiming everything, to remember what we came here for. So
Mhm.
all this like self-judgment and self-doubt, this is like the 2000s at the best. We can't do this anymore. We don't have time for this anymore. We're being called to really remember and to reclaim that power. And everybody around me is awakening, like in really, really fast ways. And sometimes in my field, actually, I need to say that because those energetic processes can be very intense. And people might feel like, what's wrong with me? Do I have some mental health issue? Do I have, some neurological problems? Because this definitely, I was like, you have some neurological problems. Like, but it's such a no. And then I feel of like, think of one location in the world and I start shaking and things come out. It's like, no, I don't think this is a neurological problem. So like, how many of you have been having some kind of symptoms or signs of awakening or activation within you that you misidentified, misdiagnosed as something is wrong with my body? Maybe I need more of this mineral or this vitamin, and that's possible too. But what if this is like this sound, this big sound of awakening? So like you can't ignore anymore. It's like shake and the bells are ringing and you're like, what's
When
wrong?
the tinnitus is raging in my head.
I was thinking about that. Yes, yes, yes. That's definitely a messaging system that people are connected to. And they go to the doctor because of course you want to make sure, want to rule out brain tumor and stuff like that. But I really think most of these issues are all energetic. And like, yeah, I want to do activation before I don't know if we plan that for today, but I really feel like I want to do some kind
Oh
of
yeah,
activation.
I want to talk. Can I before you do the
Yes, yes, yes,
activation?
yes, yes.
I want people don't know this because they don't know our history. So it was March of 2024 when I suddenly, and I say suddenly, it was like if it happened like that. I started hearing things. I started hearing noise. And I had my apartment checked out I had electricians come, I had family members come, I had everybody come over. Do you hear the noise? And it was only in the apartment at first. Okay, do you hear the noise? Well, nobody heard the noise. Okay. Then it started a little bit outside, but mostly it was always in my home. And then we worked together a little bit and I continued to do work. I also did physical work with doctors. I did not do, and I did, MRI. I did everything that you need to do to check to make sure that there's nothing physically misaligned. So
Mm.
all of that was taken care of. And then I said, okay, now whoever it is, whatever it is, you have my complete and utter and utmost attention. And so since then, it's actually been a very wonderful radar. So when I'm misaligned with my own values, it rages. When I'm not listening, it
Ooh,
rages.
ooh.
And
Well,
so I've had to do a complete realignment in terms of listening to myself, listening to my higher self, listening to whatever is being, like whatever I do when I do my readings, and I had to really listen to that. And so like I said, you and I did work on this also to start the process of the awakening because like I just didn't want to go there. It was like, no, 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 this
it's
is
information. Just what are they saying to you? And you're like, oh.
it's like really all right. But anyway, so anybody listening to this, the tinnitus that I'd experienced is really gone except when I'm out of alignment. When I'm out of alignment, it is raging and then I know exactly what to do. I'm off course. I got to get back on course and I go to work. So anyway, I want to thank you for all of that too.
Wow, you're so welcome. And how fabulous that you can, because you can hear so much, and they were, yes, very loud in your ears, and they were very
loud.
insistent on getting your attentions. And this is like with the body, the body will always whisper, the body will always communicate with us. We don't listen. So how does it turn up the volume? Pain.
Mm-hmm.
Turning up the volume. Then pay attention, but maybe instead of running to the doctor straight away or popping a pill, we can ask like, hey, what are you communicating to me? Like, we are this incredible satellite dishes picking up information and being conduit of information and generating the information from within. Like, why not use that, right? Like, I think the magic that was before woo stuff out there should be now our daily function.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, now that I took us on a little bit of a tangent, I am so ready for activation, and I bet you our listeners are too, and viewers.
Oh, beautiful. And I must say, a few times when you were speaking, it was the rush of energy coming through, and it got really intense. Like, I was like, okay, wherever you need to go, activate. And so something is already bringing up all this energy. So let's just create a sacred space, which we already created, but feel into your body, drop into your body, drop the attention into your heart, and all the way down into your toes, and calm your breath, calm your being, calm your system. Forget for those few next minutes about things you gotta do, or places you gotta be at, and just be. This is a time of being, not doing. And I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So if you feel into your body, can you feel any intensity of energy, any movement, sensation, density, colors, shapes, maybe sacred geometry, anywhere in your body? It could be your heart, it could be anywhere, shoulders, pelvis, even legs, head, could be a little bit outside of your body. Everyone has this reservoir of grace, this container of information, living libraries that you connected to, that you accumulated over the centuries, all your dimensions, lifetimes, realities, or encrypted, written, stored in that. What if you had an access, unlimited access to this information that you came here with? What if you were carrying information that is valuable, that is maybe even crucial to the creation of the new world? What if you would allow now for this information to well up, to activate, to stir up in your soul, in your being, your inner spirit, your body, your consciousness, your field? Allow for everything that is dormant, and it's ready to be activated. It's ready to be seen, to be felt, to be gifted, to be anchored on this planet, to activate. Who are you in this beautiful divine plan for the new earth? Do you carry codes, blueprints, templates, libraries, keys that open spaces and places and activate the new reality? What kind of records do you carry in you? Allow for this crystalline codes, architectural codex, divine technology, organic intelligence to activate What if you are a sacred, brilliant vessel of the future that we're building now? The positive, beautiful, glorious future that we all are dreaming about, filled with joy, love, peace, cooperation, collaboration, co-creation, harmony, and balance. Aren't we all dreaming about it? Aren't we all the dreamers that will get to awaken and live the dream? Where is this information that you're carrying, those codes, those blueprints from? Is it pre-Earth, pre-fall, Atlantean, Lemurian, Andromedan, Arcturian, Lyran, Pleiadian, Orion, pre-wars, pre-conflicts, pre-falls, pre-destruction of the planets? Maybe you have codes and blueprints from Terra, or beautiful mother, grandmother Terra. Allow. You might feel emotional. You might feel stirred up in a way you haven't felt before. Might be the remembrance awakening. So any sensation, any feeling, any thought, emotion that's coming to you is appropriate. Ooh. Are you here to restore the divine architecture across timelines, lands, oceans, elemental kingdoms, ley lines, sacred grids, temples, crystalline mountains, generator crystals that were deactivated long time ago? Where does your energy want to go? What lands, landscapes, realities, timelines, worlds are you still connected to? What worlds are ready to awaken in you? Are you a spokesperson, emissary for those worlds? Are you bringing the energy, frequency, wisdom from those worlds? You might see all kinds of mystical, magical worlds that might seem like from a distant future, but they're actually from a distant past, collapsing into now. You might see yourself in beautiful lands like Lemuria. Maybe you're a dolphin, a whale, or a siren, mermaid, beautiful mystical creature, unicorn, Pegasus. There's so many forms of embodiment that we experienced before. What if you claimed, owned, acknowledged the magic, the potency, the power that you are, the brilliance that you are? What if there was never, ever anything wrong with you, anything wrong with your reality, with your world, and everything that you're perceiving, that you're experiencing in your life right now is just your creation? So if you created something you don't like, you can change it. You can create it in a different way, using the knowledge, using those capacities, using those blueprints, using those energies and frequencies of light, of love, of beauty that you want to experience in your reality. What if positive future, beautiful, glorious future was now? Let's anchor all of that here and now. Allow for the ripples to come out and embrace the whole world, the whole universe. Let's allow for it to echo everywhere. Echo of love, of light, of joy, of happiness, unity consciousness. Enough of the division, enough of the darkness. It is being eradicated as we speak. We are standing up in our power. in our potency, in our light, becoming this lighthouses, beacons of light that are illuminating everything and everyone who comes in contact with us. Never apologizing for being who you are, as weird as you are, or you think you are, or other thinks you are. It doesn't matter. Just be yourself. Things are activating, flowing. What keys are you carrying? What spaces and places can you unlock? What healing capacities do you have? There's a lot of healers that haven't claimed those healing powers because maybe they don't want to believe that something can heal and change and shift instantaneously. And it is possible. Absolutely. Decoding, activating, demagnetizing, or remagnetizing, or adjusting the magnetic alignment to the new earth, rooting deeply in a new earth grid, disconnecting from the old 3D world. You can be still functional, even if barely, but securely and closely connected, consciously connected to the new earth grid. Energy is flowing really, really strongly. Beautiful. Activating divine blueprints, divine blueprint of your soul, divine blueprint of your energy systems, of all your systems of your body. There is an ideal, harmonized, balanced, aligned blueprint in your body of every system, of every circuit that you can now shift to. It's like shifting to a channel that's more clear, wider, brighter, and better, and sounding way more beautiful. Let's switch to the ideal, to the highest available frequency and energy you have right now. Align with the source, with your higher aspects, maybe even the future you that is right here, right now. Divine alignment, recalibration, restoration of remembrance. Oh, that's cute. Restoration, divine restoration of remembrance of who you are, what you came here to be. And what if you being on the planet is a gift beyond gifts, even if you don't think you do nothing, if you're just existing, what if that is exactly what you came here to be? Just to be, exist, walk this planet, walk the earth, anchor your energy, your frequency, your light anywhere you go. Maybe you're a gatekeeper, maybe you're a guardian of a specific place. That's why you can't move. You can't get out of here, even though you wanted to move and travel. Or maybe you're traveling all the time, spreading your light everywhere you go, like a little hummingbird or butterfly. Okay, it's beautifully flowing, activating, awakening all the dormant DNA, function, recollection, capacities, awakening. You might feel dizzy or very spacious, very high. There's no right or wrong here. It's winding down a little bit. Woo. Okay, are you transmitting the energy? Are you generating the energy? Or are you recording everywhere you go? You might be doing all those three things together, or one of them might be the dominant one. Some people are always generating light, creating light. Some are distributing that light continuously. Some are recording all the codes from the outside. Aligning now that function. Whoa. Okay, slowly come back. Ooh. Feel like I'm going to take off.
Wow. Oh my God, that was powerful. Ooh.
Whoa, okay, to come back. I could have kept going, but I felt, okay, whatever needed to be conveyed, it was. And, ooh, okay, it was taking me very, very far and very high. Very shaky.
It's like vibrating in my head.
Yes, my heart is just really like, wow, that was powerful. Where it came from, no idea, but it was a collective activation that happened. And I feel like past, present, future just collapsed into now and we created something very beautiful and very powerful. Really very disoriented.
And you know what? I think that we're going to end right here so that when people go and watch this, they can have this experience and we don't need to talk anymore so they can experience all of this. And the links to reach us are below.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Elly.
you. Thank you. All right. People enjoy this experience. Come back, watch it again and again. All right.
Thank you.